Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to talk about NoFap. And NoFap is a divine information. This information is at the very highest level of your journey from being in a lustful state to a conscious or superconscious state. But NoFap is just one information, but it's at the very highest level of the information that you received. But that's only one part of the puzzle, but it's at the very highest level. You need to understand other parts so that you understand step by step, and then you can connect to NoFap, and then you can connect to consciousness and super consciousness. Okay, so this video I'm speaking for a younger generation. Whenever you see this, okay, because a lot of things can be learned or you receive from different people, different generations. But I've seen this from a teen who was talking about NoFap. Then I understood, okay, this information is pretty divine. But I also want to help, or not say help, we are all manifesting from the universe itself, and then we are passing from, I'm not talking here, it's the universe talking to you. So universe, what it wants to give to you today is that how to use NoFap and the timing of it, understanding sexual energy, sexual desires. So I'm gonna put a link below about understanding sexual energy and also going from sex to super consciousness. So watch those videos so that everything is connected, okay? Now let's talk about NoFap and how you need to use it when you're young and how it will have a negative effect and how it can have a positive effect. Let's go through the journey of negative effect, and then let's go through the journey of positive effect, where NoFap will negatively affect you and where NoFap will positively affect you. So as when you're young, right, you haven't explored much. And when you haven't explored much and when you receive this information about NoFap, it's at a very highest level of information. And it can have a negative effect on you if you don't use it in the right way. So the first thing is to understand the sexual energy. So the sexual energy is at a very low frequency, okay? And the NoFap is a very high frequency, okay? So if you try to use NoFap, which is at a very high frequency, and you have a lot of sexual desires, which is at a very low frequency, okay? Not to say that it won't help you, it will help you, but we are talking about the negative effects of it. So let me talk about that. So the thing is, like, when this lust desires are at the lowest frequency, when I say lowest frequency, it's just labeling. Everything is at a higher frequency. Everything is connected. You can go into higher frequency only when you are in low frequency. I'm not judging lower frequency. Lower frequency is also divine. You need to understand everything is connected. You can only travel to the higher frequency from lower frequencies. So you have to respect the lower frequency also. So before, I'm not judging anything. I'm not judging lower frequency, I'm not judging higher frequency. I'm not judging super consciousness or consciousness. Everything is one, okay? But let's talk about lower frequency. I'm just labeling the sexual desires as lower frequency, okay? But everything is pure, okay? Understand that. So when you are lower frequency, what does it mean is like you have sexual desires, you have You easily get attracted to opposite women. That's your true authentic self. Okay, that's a lower frequency vibration that you have. Okay, now suddenly you receive this information about NoFap, and suddenly you start to um, masturbate, or you start to, even though you get attracted, you start to stalk yourself. Now what happens is there is attraction, or there is a difference of things, or there's this um, tearing apart of, or the friction between lower frequency and higher frequency happening, and that can bring you low, that can unbalance your energies. Okay, that's the negative effect that you have, because on a true authentic self, you're your action should be that you need to approach, or you need to go and talk, and then you need to feel the other person. Okay, but because of this higher information that you have, you're stopping from doing all of that. Okay, so what happens is there's this inner deep desires that get dissolved in your system, and there is this higher information that you're using, and then what happens is, even though you have the desires, because you're exploring that NoFap, it will affect you. You'll become low. You'll get unbalanced energies. um, it will affect in a negative way. Okay, that's why it's pretty important for you to understand the sexual energy, the sexual desires on an authentic level, so that you can come out of it when there is a realization. Okay, so that's why if you have sexual desires energy, go explore it. Okay, this happens to monks, this happens to even people who take brahmacharya at a very older age. They still have the sexual desires. If they have sexual desires, they cannot go to the upper ladder of consciousness or super consciousness. There is no way that you can do it. You have to go through this journey of lower frequency, understanding this lower frequency, understanding this lust, understanding the sex, understanding all these things. And once you have a realization, you can detach from it, because you already seen it, you have already swim through it. Okay, and also in Indian mythology, this is a pretty good example. In Indian mythology, um, there is they are called rishis and munis. Okay, what they do is they do tapas, which means penance, for years and years, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? And the gods would send beautiful women. Mostly they are called as Ramba, Menaga, Urvashi, right? They send these beautiful women, and to break this penance of this person who is doing the penance for 20, 30 years. Okay, and this women would, in a fraction of a second, would take this rishi or muni who is doing this tapas for 20, 30 years, just in a fraction of a second. Now, because that muni or rishi had a sexual desire within him, there's no way that, so if he has understood that sexual desires, like Buddha is different. Buddha already experienced that, right? So he was at a different state. No women or no sexual desire would affect Buddha. But on the other hand, this Muni, even though he's doing a tapas for 20, 30 years, within a fraction of a second, that woman would just take him away. You need to understand the difference, okay? Difference of Buddha and Muni. You want to be a Buddha, not to be a Muni who has sexual desires. Okay, understand this key difference. Okay, now let's talk about the positive things about NoFap. Once you understand sexual energy, once you've gone through the whole process of going and getting attracted, getting into this love, experiencing all those beautiful things. Everything is beautiful. Love is beautiful. When I say love on a romantic level, okay, on an avatar level, okay, when you like each other face, you're attracted to the body, or like attracted to the face, attracted to the smile, rather than the inner self. Let's not go too deep into it. Just explore that beautiful phase, and then it's like weather. Everything, like, see, everything changes. The day becomes night, night becomes day. You know, we have summer, winter, like everything changes. You know, the weather changes every time. In the same manner, the things that you experience within love, it changes. The deep desire, the love that you have, it changes. Now the thing is, the universe shows you, hey, this is temporary, this is not permanent. The feeling that you're feeling to this person is temporary, right? Once you have that realize, until you have that realization, go. You know, even though it's years and years, you love this single girl, just be, okay? Be authentic, okay? Once you evolve, once you understand the universal laws and everything, you evolve and you understand, you see, you come out of that lust, you come out of the desire, then you see, and then you do NoFap. Now you understand your lower frequency, you understand your higher frequency. Now, the thing is, even though you do NoFap, you are at a stage of understanding this NoFap, how to use it, because you have already crossed your lower frequencies. You have understood your sexual energy, you understood how to come out of it, how to swim it, you know how to distance from it, you know, not in a way of like without understanding it. Now you understood it. You understood your whole sexual energy, and then now you can distance from it. Because you already experienced it, right? And now once you do NoFap, you can go into conscious and superconscious states too, right? But going through this process of understanding sexual energy is important. Okay. So okay, the things that you need to take from this video is understand your sexual energy, go and face it, be a Buddha, not be a Muni and Rishi who has sexual desires and doing that penance. Be a Buddha who understood the sexual energy, and then he's just elevating to conscious and superconscious states. So NoFap is a very divine information, but it can take you down and it can take you up. From this video, you need to understand when to use it. You can use it, but if you have sexual desires and things within you, go and explore it. And once you come out of it, and once you use NoFap, then it's going to elevate to conscious and superconscious levels. Okay. Hopefully this video helps you. Thank you and have a blessed day.